Rising to look due south down Range Road 95 west of the 2nd. This is what they call the Moffat District in here, a land of stone houses. It's Friday supper time, September the 3rd, 2021, and this is Adair, Saskatchewan. The Trans-Canada Highway is 7 km that way. And looking down on what can only kindly be called the town site of Adair, there was two elevators though. On the south side, the left side of the grade there, which runs through the center of the bushes. Crossing the elevators was a station, and there was a White House. The vast Carry the Kettle Nation is about 20 km to the west. Looking off towards Wolseley on the horizon there, you can see the elevators 5.7 rail miles away, those specks there. Away north here is the bed of glacial Lake Indian Head, drained by the Capel system. You can see up on the horizon there, maybe 30 km away. Glacial lacustrine clays, drained of water maybe 10,000 years ago. This is Treaty 4 territory, signed September 15th, 1874 at Fort Capel, known as the Fort Treaty, an agreement to share this land. That's Adair Creek, snaking along the valley floor down there. It's one of the major drainages in this area, heading for the Capel Valley and ultimately the Arctic. The railbed coming into view was Canadian Pacific's Reston sub, built westward from Reston, Manitoba. Got as far as Peebles at mile 98.1, about 20 miles from here, in December of 1906. They hesitated there for 2 years before connecting on to Wolseley on the main line, affectionately known as the Peanut Line. Complete service began on November the 11th, 1908, and the line was abandoned in 1961. Adair sits on the shore of glacial Lake Indian Head. Off to the south, east and west is undifferentiated glacial till of the Indian Head Plain, undulating, hummocky and speckled with kettles, potholes, where chunks of ice slowly melted away. The Great Canadian Duck Factory, mostly black, loamy soils, productive in areas, a lot of good pasture land. Initially, only a few Cree, Saulteaux, and Assiniboine bands signed Treaty 4, but later adhesions saw all peoples in this area sign the treaty. The negotiators, acting on behalf of Queen Victoria, promised the native folks tools, a school, reserves measured out at 128 acres per person, and the right to hunt and fish where there were no settlers. Little did they know that the territory would soon be filled up with settlers. This is a closer look at the town site. I'm not sure the significance of the pine trees. The station was just a portable, dropped off in 1909 at mile 116.7 from Reston, moved at a time unknown. There was a post office opened in 1894, right on this corner down here on the east side of the Range Road, by Alexander Fleming on April the 1st, 1894. It was closed by Mrs. Mary Ann Isabel Duncan on October the 30th, 1944. The two elevators that stood in Adair were the McLaughlin and Ellis, built before 1911 and closed by N.M. Patterson in 1952, and soon would have been right down in there. Right next to it in 1928, the Saskatchewan Wheat Pool built their elevator, which they closed in 1960. Adair, Saskatchewan.